You're watching American Conference Basketball on ESPN. The hottest team in the American visits Tudor Fieldhouse tonight. The South Florida Bulls, winners of 5 in a row and 8 out of 9, take on the Rice Owls. Good evening, great to be with you. Matt Peterson alongside Austin Ivan, the former guard at Oklahoma State. Well, Rice, 4 games to go. They're trying to get into the top 10 and qualify for the tournament in a very stiff test tonight.
USF playing some high-level basketball right now, really starting to separate themselves here in the conference and looking like the team to beat once they get to the conference tournament. They check a lot of boxes. I love the brand of basketball they play. It's all about pace and space.
At the top of it all is Isaiah Nelson, the former Arkansas State third-team All-Sun Belt player, is now the front-runner for the Player of the Year in the American.
Well, as one of the top big men in the country, that means he's going to be at the top of every scouting report. Nelson, an all-around athlete, but makes his living around the rim as a major lob threat. But Matt, he's not just the best player on this team, he's also the hardest worker, and that makes him a coach's dream.
Rice will try and slow down the high-powered Bulls, and they'll depend on the 6th-year senior and native of Savannah, Georgia, Trey Broadnax.
You want to talk about an impact player, get this. Trey Broadnax leads Rice in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He is one of just 2 players in the entire American Conference to lead his team in all of those categories. A strong guard with a really unique skill set that leads the way.
Sammy the Owl getting the fans hyped up for this midweek matchup. First of the season, 5th all time. Rice has never beaten South Florida in men's basketball.
They've all been by 8 or less points though, so that does mean like we are going to be in for a good one, hopefully.
Rice needs to find its defensive footing to have a chance tonight. Alatakun lost the tip. First possession for the Bulls, and that's an emphatic start, a layup.
Yeah, they're going to play fast. You're not going to see the shot clock go down too much here in this game when USF has the ball, but right from the tip, they go immediately to the basket, get an easy look at the rim.
Josh Omojafo with the layup. A good start for the Bulls. 89 points per game for USF. Alatakun underneath, shot fake, another fake. Left it short, rebounded by Isaiah Nelson. Here comes C.J. Brown, one of 2 returnees from last year's team. He's the only returning starter.
He's an elite point guard, really facilitates for this team, but can also get downhill. What USF wants to do, either get at the rim or shoot 3-pointers.
Tremendous motor to run that down by Joseph Pinion to grab the ball on the baseline before it went out. After the miss from Omojafo. He dragged that pivot foot, it's a travel.
Rice gives up an offensive rebound there. USF, one of the best in not just the conference, the entire country when it comes to crashing the boards, but they stick with the possession and they get a turnover.
Cam Carroll, freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas, initiates the offense. Here's the starting 5. It's Carroll, Smith, Broadnax, Anderson, and Jimmy Alatakun Jr. Anderson. Carroll crossover. Tried to find the corner. It's stolen by Pinion. Great transition. Nelson, throw down.
I warned you they want to play fast, up-tempo basketball. They are pushing it up the floor, getting there on a miss or make, making it really difficult for Rice to quickly get back and defend whoever they're matched up with.
Anderson rolls off a screen, misses the 3. Here comes Omojafo. South Florida starting 5, Ennis, Pinion, Omojafo, Brown, and Nelson. Brown the only returning starter. Basically a new team for first-year head coach Brian Hodson.
I love the roster he's put together, constructed a team that all the pieces fit so well together. They look like they have played together much longer than just one season. Another efficient offensive possession for the Bulls.
Pinion the alley-oop for Isaiah Nelson. Nelson averaging 16 and 10. The entire starting 5 averages double figures. Enos and Nelson, the co-leading scorers, 16 points per game each. How many college basketball teams can you remember, Austin, where the entire starting five averages double figures?
Yeah, they're well balanced, they're selfless. A lot of their shots are assisted. Over 60% of their made field goals are assisted baskets. So they're sharing the ball, but every single player on this floor can shoot the three. Here's another one.
Omojafu misses. Another offensive rebound. There's going to be a timeout soon for Rice. It's an 8-0 run from the opening jump for USF.
The firepower on display early for South Florida, off to a great start here in Tudor Fieldhouse, up 8-0, forcing Coach Lanier to call a timeout.
Isaiah Nelson, third-team All-Sunbelt last season. Some of his brightest moments. Look at him run the floor at 6'10".
I mean, he impacts this game in so many ways. He's elite at the rim, puts so much pressure on defenses by the way that he runs the floor. He can attack, but he has those lanes and that open space because he's surrounded by some really great three-point shooters that spaces things out and gives him those really big, wide lanes where he can get to the rim easier.
He gets an early breather here. Well-deserved. How can Rice counter? How can they slow down the running of the Bulls?
It's hard to keep up scoring-wise with a team like South Florida. They lead the American Conference in points per game, so you're really going to have to put your hard hat on, get down defensively, try to make them grind out these possessions. South Florida wants to shoot quickly. The first shot they see, they are going to take, so if you try to get them deeper into the shot clock, try to wear them down that way.
Pinion went aggressive. He couldn't get a shot off. Carroll into the front court. Trey Broadnax hit from the free throw line for the first Rice bucket. Now Carroll, 18-footer miss, rebounded by Omojafu. There they go in the front court. Brown probing. Here's Pinion. Transfer from Arkansas State, one of a few who followed Coach Brian Hodson after a great season last year. Pinion, one of the best three-point shooters in the country, has another.
Yeah, the ultimate green light you can see there. He did not have much time or space. It felt like a Rice defender was on him, but he still finds a way to elevate, shoot, and knock it down.
91st made three on the season for Joseph Pinion. Him and Enos, one of the best three-point shooting tandems in America. And a nice short corner hit from Nick Anderson. Here's Collins in the game. Damian Collins, fifth-year senior transfer from Kentucky and LSU. Shot fake, missed it. And it's Rice ball as we see Stephen Giwa in the game for the first time. We're at the media timeout. South Florida had a layup on the first possession and an 11-4 lead as they try and extend the win streak to 6 in the American Conference.
Rice Minds are one step closer to a solution. Right now, we're using our collective creativity to rethink how the future's built. Right now, we're linking the best undergraduate experience with world-class research capabilities.
On it. Got it.
Found it. To solve problems only Rice can solve. Being elite isn't about being exclusive. It's about purpose. The world needs more Rice Minds.
Right now.
This is where success is earned, never given.
where character and grit break the status quo, and competition drives ambition. Ignited by innovation, united by mission, bold in service. It is set in stone. One footprint, 15 world-class institutions, one conference. This is the American, built to rise.
Welcome back to Tudor Fieldhouse for some midweek basketball. I'm Abby Christopherson, and Coach Lanier told us coming into this game that he is looking for a sense of maturity and urgency from his team. He said in order to stay in games like these, you have to have that connectivity, a competitive spirit, and willingness to do your job. He said every game matters down the stretch, and there is no better opportunity to prepare for a potential conference tournament than playing the best team in the conference on your home court. USF plays with confidence, physicality, and grit, and Coach Lanier is hoping to give them that same energy right back tonight, guys.
Coach Lanier believes that his team could make some splash if they get to the conference tournament, but they can't do that unless they get there, so have to play good here down the stretch in their final couple of games. A big challenge here tonight against South Florida, a really long athletic team that is scoring at will right now. Coach Lanier, very defensive-minded. He is going to, I'm sure, reiterate a few things here of what he wants his Owls to do in the defensive setting, especially trying to just not let South Florida score in transition, make them earn it in the half-court setting.
Closeout foul from Wes Enos sends Anderson to the line for three. We have a few good stories here tonight. Anderson played Division III basketball down the street, St. Thomas Celts. There's three former D2 players on South Florida. I think for anyone watching and listening, Austin, the lesson is if you're good enough, even at D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO, you will be found with modern analytics and video.
Well, I think maybe the best story out of all of them for South Florida is Devin Hade. He hasn't made it into the game yet, but 26 years old, one of the oldest players in college basketball. He didn't play basketball for 3 years. He was stocking shelves at Walmart. Didn't go into playing college basketball until he was 22. That right there is an incredible story.
We'll see Devin Hade off the bench tonight for USF. Bodie Howell has checked in, freshman from Meridian, Idaho, the former Gatorade Player of the Year from Idaho.
We've seen really great progression from him in the last few games, just building up that confidence, getting more game reps and experience. His best basketball is certainly ahead of him.
A miss from Hightower, 5-on-4 for Rice. Eternity Iguagi, interesting footwork, avoided a travel, and he found Jalen Smith. Rice has weathered the storm, down 4. Giwa sets a screen, Smith. Telegraphed the pass, another steal for Joseph Pinion. Hightower, kick out. Rise and fire, another 3. Isaiah Jones off the bench.
Just great ball movement. They get it up the floor quickly. They don't score immediately in transition, but it's that secondary. They kick it back out, quickly reverse it, and they just get a dagger 3.
Anderson finds Eternity Iguagi. Iguagi's able to save it right to Pinion. Run out layup. Joseph Pinion with the reverse dunk.
2 straight steals for Joseph Pinion, getting it done on the defensive end, showing he is much more than just an elite three-point shooter.
That was shades of Florida Gulf Coast in the NCAA tournament a few years back. Style points for Pinion. Iguagi. Bodie Howell with 7 on the shot clock. Howell wraparound pass. Giwa turned away. Oh, what a rejection from Damian Collins. And there's a foul on the perimeter.
They might have called a kick ball there.
Kick ball, no foul. Good eye from Austin.
Great job just sticking with it there by the freshman, getting to the paint. Finds his open teammate, but just can't finish at the rim because South Florida is so long, athletic. They make it difficult with their interior presence down low.
Top of the key now, Nelson. Enos back for Nelson. Green light for the 3. Short. And an offensive rebound on Majafo. Enos, jump stop, kickouts. Corner three, short. Rebounded by Broadnax off the miss from CJ Brown.
For a lot of this conference season, Rice was one of the best offensive rebounding teams, but now it is South Florida who has the best offensive rebounding numbers. And so far in this one, they have 4 offensive rebounds. Rice does not have any. They have to limit the Bulls from crashing the boards and getting those second chance looks.
Broadnax to inbound, 16-7 South Florida. Carroll lost the handle. And it's USF ball. And there he is, Damian Collins. We had a chance to talk with Brian Hodson, the head coach, today. We had a little bit of time at the end. We asked for one-word answers on these players. We said, Damian Collins, he said, elite rim protector.
They have shown that early on in this game. Great protection at the rim, but the guards also really hounding on the perimeter, and that's just complementary basketball that this Bulls team plays with and what makes them a good defensive team. And I don't think they get enough credit because we're talking about their offense so much, but their defense has really improved steadily throughout this conference season.
Broadnax with the rebound. He gets downhill. Referees let them play. Last touched by Rice. It's South Florida ball. This is a unique team because if you look at the offensive numbers, you think they might be a finesse and flair team, but they do the dirty work on defense.
They really do. They're underrated in a lot of ways with what they do defensively. Every single player out on this floor is right now trying to get tips, deflections, draw a charge. You can tell that they take a lot of pride in what they do on not just the offensive end, but the defensive end as well.
That was Isaiah Nelson. His coach, Brian Hodson, told us today Isaiah Nelson should not only be the American Conference Player of the Year, but the Defensive Player of the Year as well.
Well, when you talk about stocks, steals and blocks, those two combined, he has 40 in each, and that is not easy at his position. Yes, he's an elite rim protector. He's going to block some shots, but to get 40 steals as well tells a lot about the versatility of this player.
Enos has his shot blocked by Giwa. Here comes Cam Carroll. 5-on-4 Rice. Carroll in the paint. Look for Giwa, but Enos was ready for it. Actually, Jones with the steal. Why not? Isaiah Jones hits a 3 and a foul underneath. That will go against Rice. The shot is good. A 3-pointer from Isaiah Jones. And look at Coach Hodson deep off the bench firing up his troops.
South Florida, they get to the rim. A nice job there by Rice with some elite rim protection, but a lot of the times it's South Florida getting into the rim, getting what they want, or kicking it out for threes. They're up 19-7.
South Florida has a 12-point lead early in the first half here on South Main. Let's go back down to the floor with Abby Christopherson.
As USF is leading the conference, Coach Hodson said their success this season isn't unexpected. This is what he came here to do and what they've been working for. He said they've been very fortunate with the resources and leadership they have. Said they still have a lot of work left to do, but he's very confident in the ability of this roster. They're taking it one day at a time as they work towards March. Guys.
I think they check a lot of boxes when you look at this team, what they're capable of. Certainly a dangerous team once we get to March, but what Coach loves probably the most about this team, he said in his 18 years, it's a team with great confidence, but they are humble, they are selfless, and they support one another. They want to celebrate each other's success like he has never seen before. That speaks a lot, and you have to have good locker room chemistry to win games here once you get to the postseason. And by what he was telling us, sounds like they have really incredible chemistry in the locker room.
89 points per game. And talking with him today and reading things that he has said this year, it's really interesting that it's his first year, just 2 years removed from the tragedy of Amir Abdur-Rahim, but what he built with that 23-24 squad, and he said, I'm not trying to rebuild, I am not trying to change the culture, I'm trying to continue his legacy, and he's done it with this group, but also with the students and the on-campus atmosphere. They've had some great crowds at games. He's buying beers for students, doing a lot of community initiatives, a lot of things that Amir Abdur-Rahim started at South Florida, he's continued in his first season as the new head coach.
Well, I don't know why students wouldn't want to come to their basketball games. They are a really fun team to watch. They're exciting. They play with so much tempo. They are running up and down the floor. They are getting after it on both ends, and they are winning a lot of games. So it's a pretty easy sell right now because of what you're putting out on the court. The value of your team speaks for itself, and when you win games, the fans are going to follow along.
He learned under Nate Oates with him in Alabama, also at Buffalo. A lot of the Nate Oates' philosophies on efficiency with three-pointers and layups and up-tempo, all of those things. But he's his own coach. And again, this roster is very interesting. 2 from Arkansas State followed him over, 3 former Division II players. Some high 5-star, 4-star type recruits. Damian Collins played at LSU in Kentucky. We have the former Texas Gatorade Player of the Year from the small town of Atlanta on the roster, and Damian Collins. So there's some blue chip prospects, some former 5-stars, some former Power 4 players. There's Division II. It's a little bit of everything. It's a jambalaya, this USF roster.
Well, they have put together a really great roster, so many different pieces that fit so well together, and it's a hard team to scout for. But Coach Lanier does feel like he has a little bit of a blueprint because they played Arkansas State last year, and they've also played Arkansas State and Kennesaw State this year, 2 head coaches who are from the Nate Oates umbrella. And so he's seen the blueprint. He understands the style of basketball they want to play, but that still makes it really difficult to try to slow down a team like this. Certainly having a lot of time right now, though, to make some adjustments to make sure his team is on the same page. They have struggled to score, and right now just 2 field goals they have made, no assists on either of those baskets.
The coach for South Florida appealed the last play for a non-basketball play. The appeal was unsuccessful. The call stands as it is on the floor. South Florida will lose a 30-second timeout, and they will have the ball on the baseline.
Thank you for the description. So Brian Hodson wanted to see if that should be upgraded to a flagrant 1. It was not. Pat Adams, Josue Nieves, Sean Seals are officials tonight, but he leaves no stone unturned, and the word he used to describe Nate Oates was meticulous. That's a meticulous move from a coach up 12 on the road in a hostile environment.
A great inbounds play, had plenty of time to draw something up and executed it perfectly. But with Nate Oates, he said not just meticulous when it comes to basketball, but it is with everything he does in his life. Across the board, he is not going to leave any stone unturned.
11 unanswered points after the 3 from Pinion. Pinion has 8 points here in the first half. Akuche in the game, kicks it out. There is a right wing 3 from Jalen Smith.
Even when Rice makes a basket, it just gives them maybe a half a second longer to get back defensively because South Florida is still getting it in bounds and pushing it up the floor so quickly.
Nelson short. Good effort from Pinion on the save. That's the one area, if you look at the stats, so Nelson hasn't thrived this season. 16% from three, but Brian Hodgson told us he has the green light. He doesn't need to make one to earn another. He has the green light to shoot as many as he wants with the kind of season he's had.
And Coach believes that, he's probably shooting it better in practice than what's translated to the game, but he has worked on it throughout this season. He really is so close to being a all-around complete player because of him at will. He is such a threat defensively, an absolute double-double machine. And when you add in that three-point shooting as well as the percentage is slowly rising and getting better and better throughout conference play, just really has a good case to be American Conference Player of the Game and looking like a prospect at the next level as well.
Isaiah Nelson goes to the line. Austin asked Coach Hodgson a good question this morning in our call. How has he improved? And he came back with a very interesting answer. He said Isaiah Nelson is most likely taken the biggest jump of any player I've ever coached in my 18 years in college basketball.
Credit to him for studying film like crazy, putting in the work on the court by himself. If the team is lifting at 9 a.m., he is in there at 7 a.m. doing a workout on his own before everyone else. Truly has grinded away and really been the reason that he has got better. He has certainly taken it upon himself to be the leader of this team and has done some incredible things throughout this season. Looks to carry this team deep into the postseason as well.
Howell missed the three. Akuche tapped it out, but it's USF ball. Nelson made both free throws. He has 8 points here in the first half.
Yeah, Coach talking about Isaiah Nelson, he said, when I first saw him, I didn't know if he could even play at Arkansas State. He didn't understand offensive concepts. He looked like a baby deer out there running around just trying to figure out his place. And you see him now and you would never think that. He's confident. He keeps his composure. He is just dominant on both ends of the floor.
Pinion grabs the loose ball. Right wing three off the mark. Pinion cannot stop running. He saves it, but it's right to Akuche. And there's a steal in the backcourt. Alley-oop, Pinion lays it in. USF with all the hustle plays here in the first half. But the only blemish in this first half, the concern of Isaiah Nelson on one end. On the other end, it's Damian Collins. So these teams play so hard. We're seeing them fly all over the place, and now we see Pinion ask for a sub as his co-pilot Isaiah Nelson receives treatment.
You certainly do not want to see anyone get hurt at this point in the season. You are so close to the conference tournament, to postseason basketball. I mean, we have seen across the country some elite players in the past couple weeks have really bad injuries, season-ending ACL injuries, 3 in the Big 12 conference alone. And so you hope both of these players are okay. They're just a little banged up, but that's a tough fall there into the chairs, getting some help off the floor right now. We'll see if we have an update for him, but certainly at this point, more than winning a basketball game for South Florida, you want your roster to be completely healthy 100% by the time you get to the conference tournament.
And that replay personified South Florida and its effort this season. There's 2 guys going to save a ball on the baseline while you're up 16 points.
They track what they call blue-collar points, and it's all the hustle stats. It's the deflections, it's diving for loose balls, it's taking a charge, and all these players really embody that. They care more about how many blue-collar points they are getting in a game than actual points, and so that's a perfect example right there, just diving for the ball up in the game, early in this game, through the chairs, but really just putting their body on the line.
Here's Broadnex probing. No look, feed to Smith, but it's too high. Smith cannot corral the high pass from Broadnex. Seven turnovers in the last 6 minutes for Rice. Brown. Enos. Top of the key, 3 more. Isaiah Jones from Nashville, the transfer from Oakland. He was on the Oakland team that beat Kentucky in the NCAA tournament a few years ago.
What you notice about South Florida, they don't take those mid-range jumpers. They are putting pressure at the rim, getting all the way in and either shooting down low or kicking it out for a three. Off the glass, a three. We have a big-time bucket for Nick Anderson, trying to heat up and get his team back on track here in the first half.
Anderson's three stops a 7-0 run. He has 8 first-half points. Enos double-teamed. Turnover into the hands of Jalen Smith, but given right back. Enos, shot fake, he goes up and missed. Smith grabs the rebound. Rice has been sloppy with the ball in the backcourt tonight.
Unforced turnover right there. Those things you can control in a game like this. All those intangibles can really make or break you. You've got to take more pride with the basketball.
Broadnax hits the three. 6 unanswered for Rice, back within 13. Brown. Good one-on-one defending from Broadnax. A crafty save from Broadnax. He wants to run. Anderson wanted the alley-oop. Broadnax instead finds Smith in the corner. Iguagi could not finish. Rebound, C.J. Brown. Iguagi's down 5-on-4 for the Bulls. Brown against Broadnax. Tough angle, missed it. Aladakun rebounds. Nick Anderson, shot fake. Anderson, explosive. Nice left-handed reverse layup.
An athletic finish. A fiery player trying to fire his team up right now. Getting close to getting it back to single digits. Trying to what Coach Lanier calls a kill. See if they can get a couple stops in a row, 3 stops, and pair that together with some good offensive possessions.
10 points for Anderson, 8 unanswered for Rice. Enos, taken away by Broadnax. 6th-year senior leading by example.
Certainly making some big plays defensively here in the last couple minutes by Trey Broadnax. His success relies heavily on the success of how Rice does in most basketball games, trying to will his team back in this one down 29-18 here. It's under 7 minutes to go in the first half.
Nick Anderson just has that scoring gene, putting it on display in this first half.
He really does. A natural scorer. He had 29 points in his last game, trying to get something going offensively for this Rice team. He has over half of the Owls' points, 10 out of 18. You can see after that bucket, trying to fire his team up. Coach Lanier was urging his team to play with a sense of urgency in this game. We're starting to see that. We have seen it more the last few minutes. Rice turning it up a few notches and doing it now with a couple of big-time players for South Florida on the bench. This is the time as you try to mount a comeback here when you don't have the best players on the opposite side for you.
Pinion, Nelson, and Collins each left about a minute apart. We're going to see the return of Joseph Pinion soon. And we'll look for more updates on those three. Smith, a deep three. And the threes are keeping Rice in the game. $11 answered for Rice. The Owls 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. Nelson back in. He looks to be okay. Hightower, freshman from Los Angeles out of Sierra Canyon. Back to Nelson against Jimmy Aladikun. Nelson missed it. Aladikun wins the battle.
Good job walling up defensively, just being physical down low and making it difficult there on that possession.
Cam Carroll. This is the deep three. Loose ball foul goes against USF. Aladikun had the size mismatch over Gavin Hightower.
Rice has taken 11 less shots than South Florida in this one. That tells you that they're turning the ball over. They're not even getting shots on some of their offensive possessions. And then that also tells you South Florida is doing a nice job crashing the boards and winning the offensive rebound battle. I said earlier, Rice didn't have any. They do have 1 offensive rebound now, but the Bulls have 6.
Turnover, Carroll on the inbounds pass. Here comes Pinion. Off to Hightower. Enos. Contested three, Pinion misses. Carroll rebounds. Carroll. Eternity Iguagi misses a three. It's USF ball, last touch by Rice. Hightower goes to the bench. He just picked up his first personal foul a moment ago. Carroll goes to the Rice bench, replaced by Broadnax. Here comes CJ Brown, went to Kell High School, Marietta, Georgia. The only returning starter on the South Florida team. Pinion, tough, but he missed it. Look at that lay-in. It stays on the rim for a long time. Soft hands from Isaiah Nelson.
Coach Lanier and the entire coaching staff for Rice asking questions after that one, thinking the ball was still circling the rim when they tipped it in.
Eternity Iguagi hits a three. First year at Rice, last season at Colby Community College. Here's Brown, +1. Three-point play opportunity coming for Brown. And we go back down to the floor with Abby Christofferson.
Team is keeping an eye on Nelson right now. Say he is okay. You can see him moving a little gingerly. They say he is questionable. Definitely keeping an eye on him. Hopefully we'll see more minutes from him tonight, guys.
Good stuff, Abby. We appreciate it. He did return. And now it's CJ Brown after scoring. But there's been so many loose balls, and it feels like USF has won the vast majority of these 50-50 balls at midcourt.
Yeah, I mean, any 50-50 ball, they feel like it's a 100% their ball. They are diving after everything, just a quick first step, just really keeping it so energized with what they do defensively, and that carries over with how they play so fast up-tempo offensively.
Missed free throw for CJ Brown. Not able to complete the three-point play. Here's Broadnax. Rice has made 8 shots, 5 of the 8 from three-point range. Broadnax off a Giwa screen. Kick out, Smith. Smith, short. Rebounded Anderson. Rice, the #1 offensive rebounding team in the American Conference. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Broadnax gets to the block. Knocked away and a foul called on Joseph Pinion. South Florida had a big lead, up 19 at 29-10, but Rice has chipped away due to some healthy three-point shooting. A 9-point lead for the Bulls in Houston. Nine-point lead for South Florida over Rice. Matt Peterson with Austin Ivan. Abby Christopherson down on the floor. Rob Lanier trying to rally his team. One game back of North Texas for 10th place and the final place in the American Conference Tournament. You would think they probably need to win 3 out of 4. At minimum 2-2 in the last 4 to make the tournament.
Well, first thing you have to focus on is winning this game right now. It's a great team, the best in the conference right now. South Florida really playing some great basketball. I feel like Coach Lanier in that timeout telling his team, hey, look, if we take care of the ball better, limit the turnovers, we will be back in this game easily. South Florida has 15 points off turnover. Almost half of their points in this game have come from steals, turning Rice over and getting those easy looks in transition. So if you value the basketball, that eliminates those opportunities that the Bulls have used to get this lead here in the first half.
Trey Broadnax back to the line. What a leader he has been. 2 years as the starting point guard for Rob Lanier at Rice. Transfer from USC Upstate. Every time we talk with Coach Lanier and we ask about Trey Broadnax, his affection has grown. He has more impressive things to say about his leadership and what he is like on and off the floor.
I mean, what a compliment he gave him, saying that he represents the highest ceiling of someone with great character. He said, there is no one I know better that has a character like Trey Broadnax. And he said the same thing for Jalen Smith as well, 2 of the best, not just players he's ever coached, but people. Underneath,
a foul called. They're finding Isaiah Jones. Isaiah Jones is a great example for South Florida and its depth. He averages 4 points per game. He is a rotation player, mostly a three-point shooter off the bench. But as Coach Hodson told us, if you look at their game-by-games, there are players who didn't play Coach's decision one matchup, then the next game will be in the top 3 scorers for South Florida.
Well, iron sharpens iron, and this team has some really great players as you keep going down the roster. And you got to think they're going up against each other every single day in practice, so they are pushing each other, making each other better. There's only so many minutes you can hand out in a game, but they have all deserved those opportunities. And when they come into the game, they have all shown that they should stay on the floor because they are making impacts.
And if you put his numbers in context, 4 points per game. Remember, the entire starting 5 averages double-figure scoring. So there just aren't that many buckets for Jones to have on most nights. Broadnax gets the roll. He has 10 here in the first half.
Shooter's touch and great three-point shooting continues for Rice here in this one, shooting 55% from deep.
Jones feels like he's going to have a big impact tonight. Force that pass into Pinion. Jones has 11, 3 of 4 from deep. Nyora misses the 3 off the bench for the freshman from Ottawa, Ontario. Nelson grabs the loose ball. Jones was a starter on that Oakland team that shocked the number 3 seed Kentucky. Oakland upsetting Kentucky in the 14-3 matchup. Here comes Pinion, missed the 3, and it's Rice ball.
That was so deep. He was on the Rice logo near half court there, but Coach Hodson really is never going to get mad at any shot that his team takes. Now maybe there's one that he could think could be a little bit better, but he gives every single player the ultimate green light. He says, I do not care how much time is on the shot clock. If you see an open shot, if you feel good about it, he gives the full go-ahead to take the shot.
Cam Carroll back in. Broadnex gets a breather. South Florida had a 19-point lead with 9:18 left in this first half. Rice has cut the deficit to 6.
They've certainly settled in a little bit and started to make some shots.
Iguagi, Anderson. Offensive rebound, Stephen Giwa. He missed the putback. Pinion clears the board. Nyora went to high school in North Carolina. Hard foul from Giwa. He left no doubt protecting the rim against Joseph Omojafo.
Well, Coach said that he embraces contact. When he gets downhill, he is physical at the rim, has a knack for drawing fouls, and he said he's not embellishing it. He is truly getting fouled, but he is so great. He's a foul merchant is what he called him, kind of like SGA he compared him to in the NBA with the way that he gets downhill, quick first step, and once he gets there, he's drawing foul, putting himself at the free throw line.
Review for a potential upgrade.
This is under review. In real time, I thought that could be a flagrant 1. It was a hard foul from Giwa, and again, these are subjective decisions, but the ruling is to upgrade to a flay 1. It's the question, is it unnecessary, is it avoidable, or excessive contact, such as hitting a player in the head or groin or stepping into a landing zone. Excessive is the hard one here because Giwa was trying to prevent an easy lay-in.
Right, but anytime you swat up high and you're going and slashing across the upper body, the face, above the shoulders, anywhere, the refs are certainly going to take another look at it. You can see the elbow close to the head right there. This is the looks that the referees get as well, so we are seeing exactly what they see from every single angle, making sure, but it does look like they're, well, that angle looked like his elbow missed, didn't make contact on that one.
After the review, the call on the floor stands that it will be a common foul on white 32. Green will shoot 2 shots.
Yeah, I think the elbow did not even close, but didn't graze the head there, and so keeping just the initial foul.
Stephen Giwa gets a break. He started at Panola College, 4 years at Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and now in his first year at Rice. Josh Omojafo. He played at Robert Morris. He played in the NCAA tournament against Alabama, where Hodson was an assistant for several years under Nate Oates. And he had a nice day, 12 points against Bama in the first round. Before that, Horizon League championship game for Robert Morris, 13 rebounds, a career high to beat Youngstown State.
You've talked about a handful of different players who have had success once they get to the postseason, and that is so important once you get to the postseason. For this year, every coaching staff wants players who understand the moment, can rise to the occasion, and can rely on past experiences they have had.
Omojafo makes both. Offensive foul. It was Aladikun trying to set a screen for Anderson.
Final 2 minutes here in the first half. Rice has done a good job chipping away, down at 19 at one point. see if they can continue to just get even a little bit closer here going into the locker room and feel good about themselves. But they should know that they have settled into the game plan. They have started to knock down some shots and have pushed South Florida to make some more difficult shots and not just those easy, wide open shots that we saw early in the game.
Aladakun to the bench, replaced by Andrew Akuche. Good cut. Enos missed the layup. Here come Rice, 5-on-4. Anderson stops on a dime. Carroll gets a screen from Akuche. Anderson. Jalen Smith. Akuche, nice read. Omojafu jumps in the passing lane. Akuche affected the shot. Omojafu grabs the rebound. Pinion misses the straightaway three. Rebounded by Carroll. Hodson thought the referees missed a foul. USF missed its last 5 shots from the field. Iguagi attacks against 2 and a foul called. He bypassed a wide open 3 for a 2-pointer at the block.
Yeah, just recognizing there that you have the 3, but felt like it was better for him to drive. Now, if you wouldn't have drawn the foul, then you would have wished you could have got that open shot back, but he does make contact, he embraces it, and puts himself at the free throw line.
Second foul on C.J. Brown. Eternity Iguagi from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Played junior college basketball with Colby Community College last year. First team all Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference. The KJCCC, as we know.
He's getting better and better, but Coach Lanier said, I don't feel like he's played up to his standard or my standard as well, but that's just something Coach Lanier loves to do. I mean, that's a great coach. You're trying to push these players. You want to make them better, and he wants to be coached, and so Coach Lanier loves that and is trying to push him in all facets of his game and continue to get better here down the stretch, because the supporting cast of these teams could really make or break you in any certain game. You never know who you need until they step up in a big moment.
Iguagi makes both. Hightower running the offense. 46 seconds left in the first half. Pinion, Nelson thought about it. Nelson attacks, Euro steps, and gets the roll. 12 in the first half for Isaiah Nelson.
About 5 seconds difference in the shot clock here. 2 different players on the floor who have made a 3 for Rice, Iguagi and Smith. So we'll see who Coach Lanier looks to get the final shot here of the half.
5 seconds left for Cam Carroll. Carroll, Smith fires short. Half-court heave is off the mark. South Florida led by 19. They will enter halftime with an 8-point lead in Houston.
You got to think Coach Lanier will take that down by 19, like you said, cut it to just 8. A 3-possession game. They have settled into the game plan. They have started to make some outside shots and made it more difficult for South Florida offensively.
Let's go down to the floor with Abby Christopherson.
Coach, your offense came out strong in that first half. Rice was able to present a challenge. How do you continue to slow them down?
They did it. We didn't get the shooters. We did a bad job on communication. Let them get some clean looks. Fouled them on a 3-point shot. We've got to guard the perimeter better.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Abby. Really entertaining first half between South Florida and Rice. 12 for Nelson, 10 for Joseph Pinion. On the Rice side, Broadnax and Nick Anderson with 10 points each. An 8-point lead for South Florida as the Bulls try and stretch their winning streak to 6.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Tribal-Peace. It was tough picking top plays this week because of all the options. Ultimately, though, it was the Diamond Sports that dominated. And that being said, we'll start on the baseball field. UAB taking on Cincinnati, trailing by 2, bottom of the 9th inning. Max Price at the plate. Hits this ball the opposite way. Does it have enough? Yes, it does. Over the fence it goes. Blazers walk it off. We'll head over to the hardwood, East Carolina and Charlotte. Zane Mingo to Spencer Elliott, who slams it down for 2 points. I'm a former outfielder, so I'm always going to give the Audis some love. Here's UTSA. In right field is Taryn Madlock. Ball goes up to her, falls in front, picks it up, fires it to third to get the runner. The Bulls know how to pass the basketball, especially Carla Brito. We have to watch this again because it is so pretty. Take a look, slow motion. Oh my goodness. Some more Bulls action coming for you. This time, though, on the softball field, Alex Wilkes has had the hot bat all season long for South Florida. Here, she'll add to it. An inside the park home run. Yes, you heard me correctly. There she goes around the bases. If you see a top play this week, make sure you use the hashtag American Top Plays on social. Keep it right here. We have more coming up for you on ESPN+.
Welcome back to Tudor Fieldhouse here in Houston, Texas. An 8-point lead for South Florida as the Bulls look for a 6th straight win. Now, Matt Peterson with Austin Ivan, the former Oklahoma State guard. That was a really entertaining first half.
Yeah, Rice certainly settled into it. They're hanging around with the very best team in the American Conference right now, and they're doing it in an efficient way, shooting over 40%, but they have taken 15 less shots than South Florida has in this first half.
Rice hung in there on the heels of some excellent three-point shooting. No doubt USF will make some adjustments on the three-point line. Let's look at the Highlights of this first half. Rice has never beaten South Florida, but as Austin pointed out, all single-digit losses, and it was a steady dose of Broadnax for the Rice Owls.
Well, he goes as this team goes. Trey Broadnax, so important, a vital piece to the puzzle for the Owls to have success. He's done some big plays on both ends of the floor. We've seen some big defensive stops from Broadnax and then also finishing at the rim. Joseph Pinion is someone who is known for his three-point shooting, but he made some plays on both ends, showing he's a two-way star as well, getting some steals and easy runouts. This South Florida's team known for having a couple elite shooters. Pretty good job getting a hand out, closing out quickly on them, and not giving them those open looks, forcing floor to get them to take some tough twos rather than those threes they like to take.
Isaiah Nelson averaging 16 and 10 on the season. He had 12 points and 5 boards in the first half. What do you make of these numbers?
The rebounds pretty even, but when you look at the offensive rebounds, that's not on there, but South Florida has 9 compared to Rice, just 3 offensive rebounds. And then the biggest thing that stands out on here, the points in the paint, South Florida 18, Rice just 2. That tells you that South Florida is packing the paint, making it really difficult for Rice, and they're having to shoot some tough fadeaway mid-range jumpers and then also knocking down some big outside shots as well. That's kept them in this one.
Rice hanging around, down 19 with 9 minutes to go, cut the deficit to 8. Rice trying for a second half comeback. We'll have more at halftime. It's Rice and South Florida, an 8-point game on South Main.
September 1960. I cannot believe it's been 70 years.
USF will show the world that we are changing for the better.
We will just continue paving the way for the future of education and technology.
Honestly remarkable, the progress that this university has made in such a short time.
The legacy of not only current Bulls but future Bulls is just getting started.
Our time is now.
Right now, Rice minds are one step closer to a solution. Right now, we're using our collective creativity to rethink how the future's built. Right now, we're linking the best undergraduate experience with world-class research capabilities.
On it. Got it.
Found it.
To solve problems only Rice can solve. Being elite isn't about being exclusive. It's about purpose. The world needs more Rice minds.
Right now.
Tudor Fieldhouse here on the campus of Rice University, and it's an 8-point lead for South Florida over Rice. Bulls looking for a 6th straight win. Well, year one for Bryan Hodgson after 2 successful years at Arkansas State. They went 25-11 last year. A bit of a roster overhaul, but you have the continuity of Joseph Pinion and Isaiah Nelson, who helped to win 25 games last year at Arkansas State. You can see the statistics for USF leading the American Conference in all these categories. But as Coach Hodgson told us this morning, Austin, he brought 2 great players with him from Arkansas State, Nelson and Pinion. They understand what he wants to do on both sides of the ball, and then they keep CJ Brown, a returnee from last year's team, to run the show.
Yeah, that's certainly big to have Pinion and Brown, Pinion and Nelson, not 2 players that know his system, aren't just great basketball players, but they're culture pieces. They understand what coach expects off the court, in the locker room, on a day-to-day basis. And so having those 2 pieces, bringing them with him, really big, and a big reason they have had so much success this season.
Very analytical approach to the roster for South Florida as Coach Lanier looks on. We go back down to the floor with Abby Christopherson.
Caught up with Coach Lanier coming out of halftime. He is glad they were able to make this an 8-point game, but said they're not playing with enough fight. Very unhappy with the amount of turnovers they gave up. He said the team will have to exhibit a lot more if they want to stay in this.
I feel like at the halfway point in the first half, I said, look, South Florida has 30 points. 15 of them have come off the turnovers. Well, they ended the half with just 15 points off turnovers. So I do feel like as the game progressed, Rice did get a little bit better taking care of the ball and not giving them those live ball turnovers and situations for the Bulls to run out and get some looks in transition.
Alley-oop first possession as Pinion finds his former Arkansas State teammate in Isaiah Nelson. Foul committed by Broadnax as he tried to contest. Second personal on Broadnax, and Nelson to the line. You talked about his 40-plus blocks and steals. He's the only player in the country with both 40 steals and 40 blocks. I mean, what a season he's had, averaging 16 and 10. Great defense, good free throw shooter, durable, tremendous defender.
He really is the defensive anchor. You can see him out here right now talking, communicating, making sure everyone is on the same page. He's that back line of defense. He's there to clean up any mistake or anyone that might get past their guy, get to the rim. He's there to try to block the shot.
He affected that shot from Broadnax, and then he grabbed the rebound from Aladakun.
Exactly what you expect from Nelson and what he has been doing all season long for South Florida.
CJ Brown, top of the key. Directing traffic.
This is about the slowest you have seen South Florida offensively all game. Have not seen it get down to under 5 seconds in the shot clock very many times throughout the season. They call it race 27. They want to get it to the front court in 3 seconds or less. They want 27 seconds on the shot clock when they are fully already in their offense looking to score. And so that tells you that Rice has made some good defensive adjustments. They are making it more difficult on South Florida and really just trying to hone in on digging deep, making it difficult on the Bulls to get those open looks that they like to find early in the shot clock.
Enos misses, rebounded by Eternity Iglagi. Race 27, a great concept for Bryan Hodgson and USF. Leading scorer in the American, 89 points per game.
And
side step 3 from Carroll. Pinion tries to respond, and he does. A deep 3 from Joseph Pinion, the senior from Morrilton, Arkansas.
Certainly hunting his shot and We're not going to see many times the shot clock goes under 5 seconds before South Florida shoots. That time, just a few seconds in, Joseph Pinion walks right into it and knocks down the top of the key three.
Well, one of Enos or Pinion's going to set the single-season record. It's a matter of time. Alley-oop attempt, good defending from Aladakun. 5-on-4 Rice. Carroll kicks it. Jalen Smith, three-pointer, right there.
Looking like South Florida on that possession, getting it up the floor quickly, playing with some tempo, getting the ball in the paint, and spraying it out to the open shooter in the corner.
That's the thing with teams that offensive rebound well. They will take risks. If they don't get the offensive rebound, you can get 5-on-4, 4-on-3 moments. Rice has been pretty good in transition tonight.
Well, when you find something that works, it's not broke, don't fix it. Keep going with it. If you recognize a deficiency in the opponent's game, you got to go after it. Keep doing it until they make an adjustment.
First foul on Cam Carroll. Pinion with the putback after the miss from Nelson. 2 at Arkansas for Pinion, then 1 year at Arkansas State, a former 4-star recruit in the ESPN 100 back in the 2022 class. Jalen Smith misses the 3. Anderson halfway down, Pinion rebounds. Entering this game, Enos had 88 made threes, Pinion had 90. Single season record is Tyler Harris, who had 97 on the 22-23 team. There's a corner 3, Josh Omojafu. Seven and 5 for Omojafu. Austin, it really feels like an NBA pace at times with USF, the way they get up the court and the amount of threes they take.
They want to put pressure on the rim initially, get the ball to touch the paint, and then either get to the free throw line or kick it out to a shooter. They are not taking any mid-range shots. They are taking all at the rim, free throws, or threes. Really efficient shots. Like you said, Coach Hudson, so analytical. He has shown the numbers to all of his players and saying, look, the mid-range game is not as efficient as these shots right around the rim. We got to continue to do that in open court. Easy dunk. That is certainly an efficient shot.
Omojafu jumped into the passing lane right in front of us. He goes down court for the throwdown. Omojafu is a special player, the Robert Morris transfer. NCAA tournament last year against Alabama. Iguagi to Smith. Reach foul.
Yeah, he just pulled his arm there.
Isaiah Jones did not want to make it too easy. But as Hodson told us about his team in the analytics, he said, we showed them all the NBA players. He says there's about 5 in the NBA that can make mid-range work. They're the best shooters in the world, so they can make it work. But beyond them, it's hard to find a consistent NBA player that can make the mid-range at a clip that would make the analytics folks happy.
Yeah, Coach saying everyone thinks they're a mid-range game maestro until we show them the numbers, and then they slowly start to recognize, okay, this is more efficient when we get all the way to the rim or we kick it out for a 3.
Missed 3 from Tristan Beckford, freshman from Ontario. South Florida, a 7-0 run, has a 14-point lead inside Tudor Fieldhouse.
September 1960. I cannot believe it's been 70 years.
USF will show the world that we are changing for the better.
We will just continue paving the way for the future of education and technology.
Honestly remarkable, the progress that this university has made in such a short time.
The legacy of not only current Bulls but future Bulls is just getting started.
Our time is now.
This is where success is earned, never given. Where character and grit break the status quo, and competition drives ambition. Ignited by innovation, united by mission, bold in service. It is set in stone. One footprint, 15 world-class institutions, one conference. This is the American, built to rise.
Tudor Fieldhouse on this Wednesday night, a 14-point lead for South Florida over Rice. We go back to the floor with Abby Christofferson.
Coach Hodson is making an impact off the court as he started Coaching Love, a nonprofit created to raise awareness and resources for kids in foster care. A profit close to Coach's heart as he was placed in foster care at just 1.5 years old. He knows the financial situation that comes with fostering, which is why he is aiming to bridge the gap for foster parents. Guys.
Certainly a rising star in the coaching ranks, but it makes you want to root for him even more when you hear his story, when you get a chance to talk to him, get to know him. You never know what someone's gone through in their home life behind the scenes, but an incredible story, and I love what he's doing off the court.
He said his family didn't have really the income to buy all the equipment needed to go to the camps. They had to survive with what they had, and he learned a lot about resilience.
Well, basketball and athletics is an escape for a lot of kids, and so if you can give them an opportunity to play a sport, it's a great outlet for them, and Coach recognizes that.
Active hand from Isaiah Jones. He knocks the pass away. Look at that explosion, both on offense and defense, and then a dunk from Nelson. The initial explosion came from Beckford. Giwa had the block, put back Isaiah Nelson. Rice women, 20th consecutive win. They beat Temple tonight by 11 in Philadelphia. Shelby Hayes had 19, and Alexis had 12. Dominique Ennis had 21. Lindsay Edmonds' team 15-0 in the American, 25-3 overall.
Yeah, they have just been so consistent all season. Credit to Coach Edmonds and what her team has done throughout the year. A really great team, some incredible pieces that just play so well together, and certainly going to be a dangerous team once they get to the conference tournament. Looking like they'll have a couple byes, get to the semis, which will be nice, and then we'll be ready to go in the American Conference semis.
Congratulations to Coach Edmonds, the Rice Owls. On the women's side, the outright American Conference champions at 15-0. As you said, they'll enjoy a triple bye all the way to the semifinals. But as Coach Edmonds said, all that matters are those few days in March to get back to the NCAA tournaments.
Well, you want your team to be healthy and rested, and when you get those byes, you get an opportunity to play in the semifinals. The bracket is rewarding those teams that have been so consistently good throughout the season. Similar to what we have seen with South Florida, they are trying to get that bye all the way to the semifinals as well.
Tristan Beckford drew contact. The elite athlete is Tristan Beckford, played for Canada, won a bronze medal at the 2024 FIBA U18 America. So a lot of talented freshmen, Nyora, Hightower, Beckford, joining this crew that's all upperclassmen starters, most of whom have tremendous college basketball experience. Lob attempt, Giwa was ready for it, he knocked it away, and then a foul as Rice tried to run down courts. So those alley-oops are somewhat getting predictable now. Rice has defended them better since halftime.
A better presence down low, certainly. Recognizing that South Florida, if they're not shooting a three, and when they put it on the floor, they are taking it all the way to the rack. So if you understand that, you can make the adjustments, you can slide over, you give your help defense enough time to get there and wall up and try to deflect or just affect the shot enough to secure a rebound.
Cam Carroll Missed it from the free throw line. Giwa put back dunk. And he was fouled.
It's a big bucket right here. A nice job getting to the paint. Good things happen when the ball gets to the paint. What a putback, and the team loves it. You could feel that bucket really gave some life back to this Rice Owls team who has struggled here in the second half. Just 6 points before that bucket.
Giwa to the line. He has 2 points, but he has probably had the best energy of any Rice player since halftime. Misses the free throw, one-handed rebound, pulled in by Jones. Odie Howell, the freshman, back on the floor for Rice. Pinion went right at Giwa. Giwa has another strip. He's affecting things on every defensive possession. Rodnax. Cam Carroll. Downhill. Howell. Rodnax, shot fake. Bounce pass. And a reach-in foul. Into the game for the first time, it's Trey Patterson, the Villanova transfer.
Rice continuing to touch paint, and good things are happening for the Owls. This time it's Trey Rodnax that gets into the lane, dishes it off with a no-look pass, and Patterson drawing another foul. And that's something that Coach Lanier really wants to win, is the free throw battle. He wants to defend without fouling, and he wants to put pressure on the opponents around the rim, giving his team some opportunities to shoot some free throws.
10th game of the season for Trey Patterson. Made his debut on New Year's Eve at Tulsa. Every game off the bench for Patterson. 3 years at Villanova. 10 games at Rice before a season-ending injury. One of two for Patterson. Hightower. As Coach Hodson told us, Hightower gives us a burst of speed. He is always at 100 miles per hour. Giwa grabs the miss from Gavin Hightower. Cam Carroll, pull up, connects.
You go under the screen, Cam Carroll, a freshman, is going to knock it down. Continuing to get better and better, and certainly someone that this Rice Owls team is going to need down the stretch of the season.
Rice back within 10. Nelson contested dunk. He was fouled on his way up by Trey Patterson. Coach Hodson coaches them hard. We're watching him, and he's giving an earful to Hightower, his freshman. He's had success at Arkansas State, won a lot of games at Alabama and Buffalo with Nate Oates, and really all he knows at the high Division I level is winning.
Teams usually take on the character of their coach, and Coach Hodson, someone intense, high energy, expects a lot out of his team, and you can see how that translates to the way that his team does perform on the floor every single night.
Nelson 6 of 6 from the line. He has 18 points tonight. Broadnax. Off a Giwa screen. Broadnax in the paint. Missed it. Giwa rebounds. But then gives it right away to Wes Enos. Enos kicks to Jones. Off the mark, and Giwa had a push in the back. Giwa's motor running a bit too heavy that time.
You like the effort, though. Certainly has made some big plays. An offensive rebound, trying to get a defensive rebound. Gets called for the foul there, but has certainly been someone that's brought the energy here for Rice, especially in the second half.
South Florida up 12, trying to make it a 6-game win streak in the American. 12-point game inside Tudor Fieldhouse. Matt Peterson with Austin Ivan, the former Oklahoma State guard. Two of the top three-point shooters in the conference on display here tonight statistically. And Joseph Pinion and Nick Anderson, we've seen their exploits. Miles Barnstable at the top. Anderson, interesting for him. He has gotten better this year. Better than last year at Prairie View, better than the Division III level with University of St. Thomas. He's over 40% for the first time in his career.
Steady progress, second in the conference in three-point percentage, makes almost 3 a game, so shooting it with great efficiency, but he is someone that can score at all 3 levels. It's not just the 3, he has the mid-range, and no question he can get to the rim and draw some fouls as well.
Nelson draws the foul on Giwa. Not pictured there was Wes Enos. He has made 88 threes. He's at 37% for the season, but he's had a quiet night. 0 for 2 from deep, 0 for 6 from the fields.
But that's the beauty of having multiple three-point threats for this South Florida team. You can afford to have one player have an off night and still turn to someone else to step up. So it's not Enos's night, but it's Pinion who's knocked down some big shots from deep.
Isaiah Jones has stepped up. He's made 3 threes. He's 3 of 5. Jones is a 27% three-point shooter this season, but he's been a big factor on the offensive end for USF. Nelson is automatic, 8 of 8 from the line, 20 points tonight for the American Conference Player of the Year frontrunner. Now some zone here for USF. Bodie Howell lost the handle. First time we've seen zone from Ryan Hansen and the Bulls.
I like the adjustment because Rice was certainly getting to the paint, trying to put some pressure at the rim, and so now you're going to pack the paint and see if you can tempt Rice to shoot some contested jumpers instead.
Enos alone, top of the key. Wes Enos finds Nelson. Nelson attacks against Giwa. How about that? Falling to the ground, he throws it off the glass. Isaiah Nelson with 22.
If he gets the ball anywhere around the rim, he is going to find a way to score. He puts so much pressure on opponents and just has a knack for finishing some tough physical plays.
Miss 3 Smith, offensive rebound Bodie Howell. More zone from USF. Anderson misses the 3, Giwa rebounds. Anderson tries again, missed again. Rebound Wes Enos.
So one thing about his own defense, it's harder to find someone and block them out, so Rice might have a couple more opportunities to crash the boards and get some offensive rebounds from it.
That's 3 or 4 possessions in a row. They've isolated Nelson, top of the key, and he goes mano-a-mano with Giwa. That's the 4th personal foul on Stephen Giwa.
Well, it's not just that they think that it's a great matchup for Nelson, but Nelson is their go-to player. And when you need a big bucket, when you're in a tight game, that is someone that you have turned to all season and you are going to continue to turn to in the postseason. And so he has that ability to take over a game. Certainly someone one-on-one, he is going to win that matchup most times.
Giwa goes to the bench. That's unfortunate for Rice. He's had the best energy on the Owls since halftime. And now he'll sit with 4 fouls and 10-13 remaining.
Well, he's had a tough assignment going up against someone like Nelson, but has done a pretty nice job trying to make it difficult on Nelson, has certainly brought a ton of energy in this game and has embraced the physicality down low.
Nelson, 24 points in 22 minutes, 10 of 10 from the line. Nelson has not committed a foul. Anderson gets to the paint, jump stop knocked away. Good hands from Hightower for the steal. Here comes Omojaffo. 18-point lead for the USF Bulls. They want 35 again. Isaiah Nelson, this time against Akuche. Nelson, a rare miss. Rebound, Broadnax. Broadnax spinning in the paint. Reach in foul. Charge to Gavin Hightower.
Broadnax is someone that's really hard to stay in front of. He is crafty when he has the ball in his hands, but he's also really physical once he gets down low. And as a guard, he just finds a way to get the shot off consistently. And we saw them have success with him driving to the rim. A little bit more difficult now here as South Florida stays in the zone defense.
Aaron inbounds pass from Broadnax, too far for Jalen Smith. Rice up to 21 turnovers here tonight. Hightower likes to attack, lowers the shoulder, and is fouled. Fouled by Trey Patterson as he got into the paint.
The reason that he had a driving lane there is because South Florida just has such good spacing. They all know their position, where they should be on the floor. They relocate, they move when the ball is put on the floor, but they give each other those wide open lanes to attack.
Hightower makes the first. What's to Sierra Canyon in Los Angeles. Character, part of the description from Coach Hodgson for Gavin Hightower.
And I don't know if he meant it as high character or a fun character, but we'll say it was a little bit of both.
I agree with you. It was a quick description. Could go either way. Probably depends on the day for Gavin Hightower. First points there from Trey Patterson. Hightower on the handoff. Great feed. But a foul is called. It looked like it goes against Jones as he tried to clear a path for Josh Omojafo.
This is really where Rice needs to try to make a push. South Florida slowly extending their lead back up. The Owls, time is dwindling down. They've turned it over 4 times in the last few minutes. Ball security is at a premium here down the stretch.
Smith, slick dribbling, gets to the block, could not finish. Akuche taps the rebound out to Enos. Hightower, explosive. That's nice.
Yeah, there you can see that speed. It's one speed, and it's one speed only, and it is fast.
Fourth foul on Hightower. He goes to the bench, replaced by Adriel Nyora. One freshman for another. Broadnax to the free throw line. And relatively speaking, Broadnax just hasn't had enough shots tonight. 3 for 5 from the field. He's been efficient, 2 of 2 from deep, but he's more of a high volume shooter on most nights.
Well, he's someone that typically can find shots on his own. You don't have to draw up a play for him. You get the ball in any position, he can go to work and get to the rim, but he is someone that is your leading scorer and leads this team in so many different categories down the stretch. You would have assumed that they might have drawn up a few more plays to get Trey Broadnax some looks.
Foul Akuche as he swipes towards Josh Omojafu. Under 8-minute media timeouts. South Florida, its largest lead of the night, up 20 inside Tudor Fieldhouse. 20-point lead for South Florida, looking for a 6th straight win and make it 9 out of 10 in the win column. Can also pick up an 8th road win tonight, would tie a program record with the 23-24 team led by Amir Abdur-Rahim. Can also clinch a 20th win for the season tonight for these USF Bulls.
They've had the program's highest net ranking of 52. That's the primary sorting tool that the NCAA uses for evaluating teams. They've had a couple quad 1 wins this season. Certainly a polished team that can be dangerous no matter who they face up against once we get to the postseason.
Yeah, those quad 1 wins, they beat Utah State at home, a perennial NCAA tournament team, and then Tulsa on the road. Oma Jaffo's looked really good tonight, 1 of 2 from the line, but he can score, he can defend, he can grab rebounds, he does a little bit of everything for USF.
South Florida staying with the zone defense. They have done a tremendous job packing the paint. Rice has just 4 points in the paint the entire game. That tells you they have shot some really tough twos, some mid-range jumpers, and the 3-point shooting is the thing that kept Rice in this game in the end of the first half and the start of the second half.
A big reason for that 35, Isaiah Nelson in the paint guarding the Rice basket most of the night. Let's go back to the floor with Abby Christopherson.
Yeah, Matt, South Florida feeling pretty good right now. Coach Hodgson preaching to the team to take care of the basketball and to be smart. Said we're not going to slow down, so really emphasizing to make good decisions right now. The team's excited though, guys.
Nick Anderson was fouled. USF thought jump ball. Nelson limping back into the backcourt. Tied his shoe in the first row. Wes Enos thought tie up. Enos came in 65 made threes in his last 15 games, the most by an American Conference player in a 15-game span all time, and the most by a USF player in a 15-game stretch in the last 30 years.
He's an elite shooter, and he's in some elite company when you look at what he did, having multiple games with 10 or more made threes in the same month. The list, a rare list with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and James Harden. That includes the only players in the Division I era and the NBA. So, I mean, he is a shooter that can get hot, can heat up quickly, and that's what makes a team dangerous in the postseason, because when you're hot, when you're rolling, when you're feeling good, you got players that can light it up. You can go deep in the postseason.
Good pass. Nelson catch and miss. Beautiful feet from the freshman, Adriel Naira. Patterson all alone, short. Another rebound, Josh Omojafo. Now Wes Enos, 2 seasons at the Division II level, Lincoln Memorial University in Tennessee, was a D2 All-American. That's a big jump from D2 to D1, one of the best 3-point shooters in the American Conference, or all of the country for that matter. But off the mark there as the shot clock wound down. Heartbeat of the team, along with Isaiah Nelson, is Wes Enos.
They set the tone. They bring it on both ends every single night, and great leaders, and everyone else follows suits when you have players that want to win those blue-collared awards more than anything else. That is the battle that they strive for each and every game. Blue-collared player of the game.
Shot clock violation, ultra rare with South Florida, the pace they want to play with. USF has clamped down on Rice. The Owls had 31 points in the first half, only 14 since halftime for Rice. Broadnax. Shot clock at 4. Carroll was fouled. They're going to call it a shooting foul as he was trying to get loose for a shot. Adriel Nyora charged with a personal.
Coach Hodson always looking for ways to improve. He knows his team to win in late February and March. They have the offensive tools. They have dynamic players, but he said defensively, we can still tweak some things. We can still not foul as much, not put our opponents at the free throw line, and I think we can get a little bit better with our defensive rebounding. They are elite offensive rebounding, but he does think that they have another notch they can go to on the defensive end.
Carroll makes both. He has 8 points. Wes Enos grew up in Ohio, went to Miami East High School. Before Division II basketball, Lincoln Memorial. Nice play design. Open 3 off the mark from Joseph Pinion.
Yeah, great look. He's always moving, never standing still, not just a spot-up shooter. That's what South Florida does a really nice job, setting each other up. They come off screens. They try to find open looks for each other. Rice trying to just see if they have any life left in them. A bucket now starting to pick up full court here. Really got to string together some consecutive stops and scores if they want to make the final push in the final 5.
Cam Carroll just hit a 3. He's 3 for 4 from deep. 11 points for the freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas. Nelson, deflected pass. Enos, 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Mid-range, off the mark. Maybe the first mid-range jumper of the night for USF.
Yeah, very rare you see those mid-range jumpers, but late in this game, things are starting to unravel in different ways, and you might see a few of those, but typically you do not see very many of those mid-range jumpers. Coach Hodson analytically calls it shot geography. He wants to know where his players are getting their shots on the floor, looking at the chart after every game. He wants to see a lot from behind the arc and a lot right around the rim.
7-0 run after the layup from Eternity Iguagi. Rice down 14. Nyora to the bench, replaced by Hightower, comes back with 4 fouls.
Rice on a little run, 7-0 run in a minute and 11 span. Back to the full court pressure, see if they can get a couple turnovers or quick stops and scores.
Hightower probing. Wes Enos, his first make tonight.
Averages 4 makes a game, his first of the night. But like I said, they got balance when it comes to three-point shooting. Pinion can knock it down, other players can as well. And so you're okay if you're a South Florida team that you're allowed to have one off night every once in a while.
Under 4-minute media timeouts. South Florida 17-point lead as they look for win number 6 in a row and win number 20 on the season. Here the American Conference standings entering tonight. Tulsa beat Tulane to improve to 11-5. Tulane drops to 8-7. Charlotte beat North Texas by a point. That helps Rice's hopes. Charlotte improves to 9-6. North Texas is 7-9. Rice is chasing FAU and North Texas for the 10th and final spot in the American Championship.
And Rice does play North Texas again. They get another shot at them. The last 8 losses for Rice in conference play have all been by 10 or less points. They believe that they can not just hang around with any team, they believe they could win those games. Now it just comes down to the consistency, putting together a full 40 minutes, but they have certainly shown that they are capable on any given night to beat any team in the American Conference.
New conference formats, first and second seeds a triple bye, 3 and 4 seeds a double bye. A steal and a run out layup. Josh Omajafo continues a really impressive night. The entire starting 5 we've talked about averages double figures. They're all in double figures apart from Wes Enos, who has had a really off night by his standards.
Yeah, you are not going to see very many 1 of 10 nights for someone like Wes Enos, a prolific shooter. But a shooter's mentality, you're going to make the next, and you can't let one off night affect you going into your next game.
The other part is he is so important for the team, even on a poor shooting night. He's played 32 minutes, so Coach Hodson and the staff value all of his contributions to this team. For the D2 transfer at a Lincoln Memorial, again, if you're a young player at a JUCO, NAIA, D3, D2 level, there is opportunity to rise to a Division I opportunity. The video is out there. The analytics departments will find you. Just continue to play at a high level.
Well, you got to put the work in too, and Coach Hodson said Wes Enos is a worker behind the scenes. He is always in the gym, putting up extra shots, an intense competitor, but when you put the work in, it usually pays off.
Here comes Enos. Missed it. Rebounded by Cam Carroll. Out to Anderson. Crafty layup from Anderson. A dozen for Nick Anderson for Rice. Adriel Nyora from Ottawa, Ontario, the freshman running the show here. Missed it off the window. Rebound Anderson. Here comes Broadnax. USF had a hot start, but down to 37% as a team.
They shot 20 more shots than Rice in this game. They get a lot of looks. They play fast. They have more possessions or average more possessions than anyone in the entire nation. Rice, you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball there when you shoot 20 less shots. You got to shoot really effective and efficiently. You want to hang around with a team like South Florida and only shooting 44 shots compared to 64.
Pinion misses a contested 3. Anderson grabs the rebound. Cam Carroll. Eternity Iguagi shot fake. A cross-court kick. Broadnax shot fake. Carroll open 3. Short. Rebounded Wes Enos. Adriel Nyora. Nyora with the blow by. One freshman against another. He gets around Carroll for the lay-in. South Florida, its largest lead of the night.
A chance to get some subs in here in the final minute. Broadnax goes to the bench after his 10.5 rebound game. Nick Anderson with 12 points and Carroll with 13 points. Those were the 3 scorers that reached double figures for Rice in this one tonight.
Evan Cochran's in. Freshman from Houston. Concord went to the Village School.
I like that Rice still full court pressure. 50 seconds left, not gonna make it easy on the Bulls in the final minute. Still showing some fight.
Venus top of the key. Omojafo.
Both coaches coaching in the final 30 seconds, standing up near midcourt, directing instructions out to their teams. At this point in the year, it's not just about the wins and losses, it's about learning, it's about making sure you're all on the right page, getting better, and making the most of every single opportunity in these games down the stretch.
Really good pass. Joseph Pinion finds Isaiah Jones. A glue guy is the description for Isaiah Jones. 29 starts on Oakland's Horizon League championship team that knocked off number 3 Kentucky in the first round of the tournament. Remember, late night basketball. Jack Kolke made 10 threes. Oakland pulled the upset.
March is the best time of the year. You never know what's going to happen. There's always going to be some wild games, and that's what makes it such a fun time to watch some college hoops.
Jack Kolke beating Reed Shepherd, now with the Houston Rockets. South Florida gets to 20 wins. They improve to 12-3 in the American Conference. 6 straight wins, 9 wins in 10 for Brian Hodgson's team that is rolling right now in the American.
A polished team that it's all coming together at the right time, playing their best basketball, and they just continue to get, you just want to get 1 or 2% better each and every day at this point in the year. They check this one off. Another win in the win column for the Bulls.
Isaiah Nelson continues to improve his resume for American Conference Player of the Year. 24 points, 8 rebounds, 0 fouls committed, 10 of 10 from the line. And we go back down to the floor with Abby Christopherson.
You have been a huge key to this team all season tonight, leading the team in scoring and rebounds. What's been leading to your success?
Just the team trusting me every day. We all selfless. Like, everybody comes in, works hard, and we put in the work. And so just grinding and staying focused.
What does the success that this team has had so far this season mean to you?
It means a lot, man. Coming in, whole new team, only 2 guys coming in with Coach Brian Hodgson. And so it's just like everybody came in, we wanted to work and grind, and we wanted to be number 1. So we know what it takes to be number 1, but we can't let that get to our heads. So we just go keep our heads down and keep working.
You ended this one in dominant fashion. What adjustments were made in that second half to slow down the Owls?
We just kept the same energy from the first half. So we just came in, wanted to play straight defense. We knew we were able to score the ball, so we just mainly focused on defense.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a good one.
Thank you, Isaiah Nelson. Thank you, Abby, and your thoughts on the interview and the game.
Well, Isaiah Nelson influences the game in a variety of ways. Such a good all-around player and leading the way for this South Florida team, but he complements so well with the shooters that surround him. It's a dynamic starting 5, and they are going to be a fun team to watch once we get to the postseason, Matt.
Nelson, 24 and 8, 10 of 10 from the line to lead his Bulls. Next Rice telecast, Rice and Harvard on the baseball diamond from Reckling Park on Friday nights. For our entire production team, including my partner Austin Ivan, our courtside reporter Abby Christopherson, I'm Matt Peterson saying so long from Tudor Fieldhouse, where South Florida makes it 6 straight wins and 20 on the season. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.